If you are making more money this year than last, well, first of all, congratulations. But after you've settled, you might want to find out if you've jumped into a higher tax bracket. You see, every year the federal government considers inflation and adjusts tax rates for different income brackets. With inflation slowing, taxpayers will get a smaller adjustment this year than they did back in 2024. So how can you reduce your tax bill for next year? Well, we've got the right person on deck now. Kimberly Washington is here, joining us from New Orleans. She's a CPA and tax analyst for Bankrate. Great for you to join us, Kimberly. A good place to start with lowering taxable income, we're told, is to maximize your retirement contribution. So explain to us how that works and where people should look to do that.
Right. So the first thing that you want to think about throughout the year, you want to start putting money into your 401k plan. Keep in mind for this year, you can put up to $23,500. And of course, that can reduce your tax liability. Also, keep in mind, if you don't work for an employer, you can also do what's called the individual retirement account. And you can put up to $7,000 if you're under the age of 50. And if you're a bit older, 50 or older, it's about $8,000. So those are some steps that you can take. And remember, you have until April 15th to do that, even for last year as well.
That's a great detail. And in general, the public should know that the government wants you to encourage you putting this money away, so it limits your tax liability. It also wants to encourage people to develop things like a health savings account. So for the uninitiated, explain what that is and how it works.
Right. So also known as an HSA, a health savings account, is a tool you can use where you can stash money away and use it for qualified expenses. Keep in mind, you do have to qualify. So you do have to have a certain type of insurance plan. But if you do qualify, you can stash this money away for both for yourself or even for your family. And also, you do want to keep in mind that if you do that, you can also put money all the way up until April 15th when it comes to stashing money away into a health savings account. But people don't realize you can use this money for certain things, over-the-counter expenses. And those are some options that you do have when it comes to health savings accounts.
Yeah, your advice is coming just in the right time for people who are like, wait a minute, did I do that for 2024? In what situations can someone defer payouts and payments? And how does that help exactly?
So that can get a little bit tricky, but if you're thinking about saving money, you want to reduce your tax bill at the end of the year, if you're waiting for a payment and not necessarily it has to be paid before December 31st, if you defer it into the next year, that could be one way that can reduce your tax liability. A second thing when it comes to this, of course, you want to be careful, speak with a tax professional so that you can get an idea when it comes to, of course, deferring those payments. But that is one way, of course, to reduce your tax liability.
Kimberly, I'm comfortable sharing with you that one of my dreams in life is to be a philanthropist, right? A person who gives their money away. I just need the money in the first place, so I'm not there yet. But how does giving to charity for anyone out there lower your tax bill? And what are the limits on that?
Right. So, of course, right now, many people, they don't itemize as much as they used to. And that's because we had a big change in 2017, 2018 with the Tax Cuts and Job Act. But if you're someone listening, you're saying, hey, I want to take advantage of my charitable donations. One of the things you can do, one strategic tool so that you can itemize is called bunching. This is one way where, of course, number one, maybe you give to your favorite donation, your charitable organization, rather, at the beginning of the year, and then also at the end of the year. And that way you can take advantage, of course, of itemizing your deductions. So those are some ways that you can do it, especially, of course, if you want to make certain that you take advantage of itemized deductions.
All right, it's 6:24 in the morning there in New Orleans. Kimberly Washington, we appreciate you waking up early and giving us some advice. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.